best. That's the wow of the magazine, not the distribution. It's every agent in here got 100, and they picked their best.
That's where you can advertise, in that magazine.
For sure.
She mentioned it when she was here.
She's coming in January 8th. Please talk to her.
I will.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't go to that. I will tell you the biggest thing with Lux is that they go with luxury and international is through the Facebook group. That's the biggest part, and to talk through them, I don't know.
That's the Facebook.
Yeah, the Keller Williams Luxury Facebook group is one of the favorite ways to communicate. I'll tell you something, that another thing that's really powerful, another tool that Lux has while we're talking about it, is the lore. If you're not using the lore and you're not leveraging the language of real estate specifically around the luxury real estate, you should be using that. You can print it off and put it in your, once you're a member, you can put it right into your profile. It is an absolute game changer to change the conversation around anyone that says, oh, well, we're struggling with market share here. Keller Williams Luxury International is the boutique of Keller Williams, right? 3,000 members of us. 3,000 members out of the 170,000 members in our agents in our company, we did 10% of our volume. Did you hear that math? 3,000 people did 10% of the entire closed volume for all 170,000 agents. That's amazing. When you look at the luxury lore and you go through and look at the luxury lore and you can see the quarterly volume, you're going to change the conversation against anybody that's here. And I know who's here. And I don't care what their local market share is. When you walk in and go, listen, members of Keller Williams Luxury International, the boutique of the #1 company in the world, listed and sold $19 billion this quarter. Is that a different conversation? You care about Joe's real estate company on the west side, right? We don't care about Kate's real estate company, on the south side, right? When you're talking about how can you get me to, these are my partners and my targets and my relationships that I'm going to be able to tell you. Not just the 3,000, because 3,000, you're not going to call 3,000 people. I can and will target the top 5 migration markets of owners, and I will talk to the 10 best agents and let them know specifically about your property. I've got that, right? You can do that. That's doable. It's just like not putting 10 people on all that list. That's 100. You can't stay in a relationship with 100 people. You stay in a relationship with 30. You can stay in a relationship with 30 from the migration markets that have people that have interest to continue to talk to them. Makes sense. See where I'm going with that? So my answer officially and publicly is partner with a member that's using the tools. Not just a member that paid the money. It's like, I don't know, I'm not really doing anything. Partner with someone that knows what they're doing, that goes to retreat, that participates and is constantly growing that. About how to do that? I mean, here's the other thing. Let me ask you, so what? You want to be in that magazine? Then what? Right? Then what? Because that's what I would say to you if I was a client. Cool, I was in the magazine. Tell me about it. Well, if you're not in it and you don't know what it is or why the value, well, I was in an ad. Cool, that was 3 months ago. Now what? Right now, I see you spending another $900. That's not so good. Right? See what I'm saying?
Red light, green light.
Red light, green light. Absolutely. Right? Cool. Like, you spend that money. Because I've got a $4.5 million listing and I'm paying, a couple $100,000 in real estate. You go ahead. I'm not signing up for that deal. Right? We got to change the conversation with our sellers about why we're doing things. Lead that conversation. Tell them why. Show them where the people are buying the homes. Change the conversation about, let me show you what buyers are buying. What have I just shown them? What?
The magazine.
Yeah, no. I'm going to show you properties that have sold recently like yours. Here's what buyers are buying. Those are comps. But if you tell a luxury listing agent or listing, here are the comparable homes to your home, what are they going to say?
Oh, it's not like
I know that house. That house isn't like my house. Nothing is like my house. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do this too. No. Change the language. Let me show you what buyers are buying. Other relevant sales. Comps? No comps for my house. Right? Change that language. This is how we can do things better, right? Instead of preparing 30 minutes before, like, oh my God, I'm going to run over there. And, and you go, here are the comps, and you shoot the printout sheet, right? Luxury and traditional are the same, but they're different. Luxury doesn't, they want it customized. So that's one of the other reasons reasons for joining Keller Williams International. Dual brand, right? You can have a dual brand. What we did in our market in particular, I have my own signs that have my own stuff on it. And so by joining and being a part of that, by the way, that's not why we're here, but I'm telling you the value is that you as a group can decide to launch your committee and all standardize your signs. And everyone decide my logo's not going on it, and your logo, and your logo, and your logo, we're all going to have the same signs. Because now you look and gain market share, right? Just yesterday, I think another great technique is pick your open house signs and directionals and have the same ones, because you can put more of those out. That just means you can have 6 or 7 or 8 directionals out. That's the same thing. You're gaining market share and branding, and it's the same consistent branding. Your name, your number. Don't devalue the dual brand, right? Set standards. We didn't talk about this. I'm sorry, I'll go back. But Michael LaFido breaks down traditional, high-end, and luxury. The definition between the two: traditional is the average sales price in the market, wherever it may be. High-end is double. Luxury is triple. Okay? So for us in Davidson County, in the county that Nashville is in, it's a higher average, $325,000. The high end is it goes up to 6.5. Luxury starts just under $1 million. We are value luxury. You can buy an amazing, lights out, unbelievable house for $3.5 million in Nashville. World class, right? Super private, super gated, amazing. 6, 8, maybe 10,000 feet, right? So we're the value buy for luxury, as opposed to, what's the market average here in Maui County?
For what? Median?
Average median.
740.
740.
That's your median home.
High end starts at 1.5.
Yeah.
Luxury 2.1. Right? So that's important to know that and be able to know those statistics. Pick 2 or 3 statistics that you can rip right off the bat. How many what's the inventory over 2.1 in Maui County right now?
How many listings?
Yeah. Months of inventory.
36 over 6.
37?
36 over 6 million? Okay.
24 of them in westbound.
Okay.
6 sales in the last 3 years.
Wow. That's not a lot of volume. So how much inventory is that total? How many sales over how many sales from 2.1 to infinity in the past 12 months?
The past 12 months for the whole island?
Yeah.
Oh, let's say not very much, maybe 50 or less.
And how many active listings?
For the whole island?
Yep, over
Less than
2.1.
1,000. We have about
Over 2.1. Over 2.1, yeah.
Quite a bit actually. Over 1.5 million. We actually tracked this recently. A couple hundred.
Cool. So 6 years inventory.
Yeah,
I
no,
got a good
it's
number for you. $3 million properties in up on Maui. Only 1 in 4 sell in the first year.
Okay, why?
High demand.
I mean, that's cool. Why? Why is that one sell? Hold on.
Was that 1 sell?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would ask.
Probably is in the best condition and price right.
Oh, look at that. Cool. So that statistic, or any specific statistic, is important to be able to pop, right now, like rolling, and be able to know, just so you know. Inventory over, I can tell you right now, I can tell you some of those market statistics. We have volume luxury in Middle Tennessee between $1 million and $2 million. We do 800 closed sales between $1 million and $2 million in the 2 counties, right? That's a volume market. It's doubled in the past 3 years. So people that are long-term native Nashvilleians are like, I can't buy what I used to be able to buy. And you're like, no joke. What you used to be able to buy has now jumped probably $500,000, right? And they're tearing things down and they're building new things, but that's why. Because we have doubled the volume in 3 years. What's happened there? That's my statistic that I roll out with. You go with one of those that you're comfortable with, right? Whatever it is. If it's over 4 million, just so you know, you want to be over 4, cool. Are you okay waiting for 6.5 years? Should you be getting a listing agreement for that long? With an early cancellation fee? Say yes.
Yeah.
Right? Because if they don't, they're taking you're taking all the risk and they have none. Be a business person.
Right.
There's it back there on the sign, be a business person. Have that conversation. The market sale that we had at 4.7 million was 60 months inventory. The average sales price in our market was $325,000 a foot. This property sold for $1,232 a foot. I had no comparables. We got lucky. Right? The guy walked in, said, I got the money. I'm in Malibu. This is awesome. Y'all don't know what you got. I'll take it. The listing agent, the buying agent, previous high sale ever, $230,000. That's a good day for him. He showed up, this is a true story, showed up, didn't know how to set an appointment, showed up at the building and asked the concierge to see the unit. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? We were around the corner, thank God. We came running into the building, we got in there, and we didn't get into all this, like, show me proof of funds, show me, let me get a retinal scan, let me get a thumbprint, let me make sure we get a blood sample, write a refusal on your first 3 kids, no. We didn't do any of that nonsense. We just said, bro, let's roll. We showed him the house. The guy was there for an Eagles concert. He's like, I like it. This is where I want to stay when I come to Nashville. He's like, cool, I think I like it. I'm going to go to the show, though. The guy, $260,000 that I told you about, that guy was like, you know what? He's like, how about I get a ticket? He's like, that's cool, but I'm in a suite. You're going to have to kick it outside. He did, and he was standing outside of the Eagles concert while we were negotiating this sale. Now, I give him credit, right? I give him credit. He was a hustler. He went and scalped a ticket and somehow conned his way onto the suite floor to hang out on the outside. Not in the suites, but that was great, right? That abundant, amazing opportunity. But I told the guy in the beginning, I said, it's 60 months. Are you okay with that? And he said, great. I said, I'm going to give you a listing agreement for that long. And if you cancel sooner than that, it's a $25,000 early cancellation fee. Right?
Yeah.
Are we sounding professional? Right? We're being professional. Because otherwise they're like, well, I don't like you. And you get mad and you get frustrated. And 36 months from now, you're like, whatever. Just get out of my life, bro. I don't want to live like that. We'll get that 25 grand. Right? Be smart about that. Be intentional. Be strategic. Think this through. But have that real conversation. Be honest with them. Right? Because if you don't, you're going to be listen, I'm the best second agent on the planet. I promise you. You didn't sell it before? No problem. You're frustrated? You're right. That agent sucked. They did a terrible job. And you know what it was? Price. Right? It was always price. That's why it sells. It was the best house in the best condition. It was priced right. It was the best thing on the market. When the market went, yep. But tell them, make it funny. I like to do that. I like to make it funny. They're like, well, I want to get this. I'm like, cool, no problem. I need a 17-year listing agreement. It's funny, right? It's on purpose. That was actually funny. Y'all are catching up now. So, right? And so that is amazing. And they get it. And they go, and I go, so, but really, when do you want to have this sold by? Well, I don't know, man. I don't want to wait for the right market. I know, but when do we need to get it sold by? Okay, so here's the market, here's the inventory. So in order to make that happen, we need to sell it here. Yeah? Good stuff? Okay, I know we're wearing down. Let's see, how to sell luxury listings. Whose was that? Did we cover that? Feel good about that? No? Didn't shake, I got a shaking head.
That was me.
Okay.
But I have a niche that's very specific, and so it's just trying to get those 3-point-somethings, in order for me to get into luxury magazine, I have to sell it.
Yep.
So I can have 16 million listings, but until they sell, I can't get in.
Yeah, so I would say one of the keys is, right, and a lot of people, a lot of leaders, especially here in the Market Center, say, luxury listings are the key. So look, take the shot, take the advantage, take the one that hasn't sold, take the one that's got, you're in the market, and then what you're going to do with it. You're making those calls to the Annas of the world, you're making the calls to the market, you're making outbound calls. Who do you know? You're calling the neighborhood. Who do you know? Have you gotten to see it? With the penthouse that we had, no one had seen it before. The building's 10 years old. We did a launch for the building. And we grew our database by 45 people that night. Right? Same thing. It's in the neighborhood. No one's been there. Hey, I'm doing a first time available. Let's do this. Now you can do it a couple times because people aren't here all the time, right? Not full-time residents. When are you gonna be in town? I want to do a private showing. When you're here. And you can stay in touch and do a private showing with these people that might want to move up. Might want to be on that just to the right-hand side and get a better view this way or a better view that way. Whatever. Right? Is that helpful? Right? You got to think about that more. I mean, I think you got to think about, I think there's a great bait, right? I'm going, listen, while you're here, for anything comes, the golf tournament, what's the golf tournament that's coming?
Century.
No, yeah, Century.
It's
That's right.
coming.
Century is coming in like 3 weeks.
Right.
Why aren't you messaging all the people on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and going, hey, while you're coming in for the Century? You know, why aren't you partnering with those folks and coming in and saying, while you're here, would you like to go see? 3 for free. Why not? Because you're building rapport, you're getting obligated, you're getting tied into them, right? You're building real relationship. Does that make sense? You're starting a conversation. It's not immediate now. You're doing opens and you're getting opens and finding people that walk in and off the beach. Somebody told me, somebody here sold, like had a big listing, like the person like literally walked in off the beach. Somebody, huh?
Don Harris.
Was it Don? I think that's who it was. Because I talked to Don too, I stay in touch with him. He does a lot of videos. Maybe, right, he's just sitting there, someone like walks in. I watched a fire the other day that happened. He's like, look, a fire. I was like, oh, sure, I'll watch that. You know, because it's bedtime at home. I was sitting in the bed, you know. So, right? So does that help? I think you got to think about the listing should lead you to 2 buyers. That's what MREA says. It starts with relationships. It starts with building the database and having it and working through it, mining it, getting those at-bats and opportunities. And then you got to nurture your seller too, right? Brady Sandall told this to us. Brady's great. He's in Palm Springs. Really world-class agent, really world-class on service. He is, my professional opinion, the standard for luxury real estate agents. He's amazing. And every day, he has 90 minutes blocked for 5 current client calls, 5 previous client calls, and 5 calls to people that he does not know. He has 90 minutes blocked every single day to do that. I'm going to do like close to 100 million in volume this year. And that's one of the priorities that he has, is to be intentional. Now, if you're calling 5 current clients, is a seller ever going to say, I don't hear from you enough? I'm going to fire you because I didn't hear from you enough. There's none of us that have that many listings that we wouldn't be talking to them 3 or 4 or 5 times a month and just giving them, hey, I'm just letting you know what's going on. Here's what's up, right? Calling the previous clients. There will never be a client that will ever get away if we stay in touch with them and we're calling and going, hey, what's going on? Man, I got this listing. Who do you know that I might call about this? This is what I'm working on. This is what's exciting in my business. And then you got 5 people that you don't know, and you're like, you don't know me, but I saw that you own a house in Maui, and I was just calling because I've got a property, and I know people in Whistler buy houses in Maui. Who's someone that you might know? Oh my gosh, right? That compounding over time, you do 15 a day. Let's do the public math real quick, right? So 15 a day, 5 a week, that's,
75.
75? 75 times 4, 300 a month. 300 a month, right? Right? 150, yeah, okay. I was quick, but no one else, everybody else is like, F that, I'm not doing that. So public math, I'm out. So 300 a week, 300 a month, times 12.
3,600. 3,600.
Who has 3,600 people in their database right now? Really? Wow. Amazing. That's like the first time that's ever happened.
Really?
Amazing, and there are 2 of y'all. Yeah. But I mean, that you're talking to them in a regular way, right?
Not every day.
I know. I was going to say, I'm not getting any phone calls, bro. I'm getting a lot of collaboration centers, you know. I'm getting a lot of that. And I'm like, this is a good one for you, Alex. I'm waiting for the one on Polo. That's the one I'm looking for, front row.
I got it for you.
Oh, come on. Under $1 million?
It's under, we're gonna see it tomorrow.
Okay, cool. After the swim.
After the swim.
Right. I got lunch with Shep, though, so,
Okay.
you know, I got to go.
Oh, I got dinner with Shep.
Oh, well, that's fine. Well, I'm going to the card game with Don and the rest of the guys, and Willie, so somebody's getting me in. I believe it. Calling it in. Somebody's going to get us there. Anyways, does that make sense? Right? Does that help you with selling? If you're doing those calls, there we go.
Alex,
Yes.
can you repeat again that famous line? You don't know me.
Oh, hey.
One more
Like,
time,
hey.
please.
Yeah. Yes. Hi. My name is, hey. Don, my name's Alex. You don't know me. But my friend Willie said that I should call you because I know about this great property that's for sale, Maui, and I might see who you might know that might be interested in buying a property in Maui County. Right? I like that, hey, you don't know me. Right? Instead of, right? The book, Digital Persuasion, you can do it that way. A lot of people love to do it. Let me tell you something else. How many people get phone calls anymore? Right? 2 of you. Cool. Right? Very few of us. Right? So guess what that is? Right now, this whole time, we've been talking for 2.5 hours, I've got 1 phone call and it was a robodial. Play in the space where no one else is. That's why I love that 555 that Brady does. No one is making phone calls. We've gotten comfortable texting, we've gotten comfortable emailing, we've gotten comfortable voice noting. Service, experience, relationship is personal, right? That's our unfair advantage, right? Picking people up. I mean, I'm picking on Randy, but we talk and message and all this other stuff. When I am saying, like, pick up the phone and go, I got something that's cool, you need to look at it. It's $40,000 under market and it's going to cash flow this much money. Oh my God, I'm in. Tell me about it. Instead of, let me know what you think, thanks. He doesn't do that, by the way. But, right, that was me. I do the hip thing too, right? I'm like, thanks. And so, but we all do that. I sent you some listings, thanks, let me know what you think. Like, I know y'all do that, like we all do. But it's not good service. We gotta go back to good relationship. I handpicked 4 specific properties for you. And there's one that I really think you're gonna like. Take a chance, look at them, and then tell me when we can talk and discuss. Is that a different feel?
Mm-hmm.
Let me know, thanks. Right? Like, I'm not letting anybody know, right? I'm not interested. But all of a sudden, it's like, it's a deal. I can't stop thinking about it. Right? Who wants a deal, right? People stand in free line all day long. So, we were right at and on time. But I'm happy to stay and I continue to ask questions, but I want to be respectful of your time because we're here today. But I'm happy to do it. My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm thrilled to be here. I was worried in the minute. I was like, we're not going to fill this whole time. But we got there, didn't we? Budget. We didn't talk about budget. Whatever else you need. But any other final questions, thoughts? We feel like we accomplished this list?
Yes.
And more so? Did we make money today?
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
It
Boom.
was recorded.